Welcome to the TaptaPodcast with your host, Coach Kody, and our special guest for today, Adrian. How are you, man?
Good, Kody. How about you?
Good, man. Do you like the live intro? It's a bit of excitement.
That was pretty good. I like it.
Yeah, it's in my radio
Glad to be
voice.
part of the glad to be a part of the Tap Tap
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah, yeah. The
First
tap, tap, tap,
podcast.
tap, tap. First podcast. How do you feel?
Yeah. Doing it with the best. So yeah, I think it'll be good.
It's always nerve wracking when you first speak on a podcast because you're like, I don't want to say the wrong thing, but just let it breathe, relax, let it relax.
Let it flow. How many have you done so far? Because you just started like what, within 2 weeks?
Hmm. Yeah, 2.5 weeks ago. It's our on this coming Monday will be our 3 week anniversary. Um, we've got we just released like an episode like 30 minutes ago with Eliza. So, but we've got that's episode 12, and we've probably filmed 17 episodes total.
Oh wow. So
Yeah,
you're already ahead, 5 ahead already.
yeah, I'm way ahead. I'm way. But then like now I have the choice of like it's good because I can release. Normally I release them in an order. So you'll notice the podcast guests. I try to go male, female, male, female. But sometimes you just get generally more males. Um, but yeah, but we've got today, and then we've got two recordings tomorrow, so we'll be 8 ahead.
Wow. Good on you, bro. You're smashing it.
Yeah, just trying to get content out for the people while they go for their daily walks.
Yeah. You're like a during lockdown, you've been a comedian. I don't know, are you still doing personal training?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
one on one?
I am
Yeah.
doing personal training.
You've been a doctor, giving out, vaccination advice to everyone,
Yes.
and now you start your podcast.
I've
Yeah.
also, I've also, fun fact, I've also actually blown up on TikTok lately.
Oh yeah.
Um, I made a post. You would have saw it on my Coach Cody one. I think you laugh reacted to it. It was the one that was like my dating profile. It was
I
like,
think
and
I
it,
did. Yeah.
and it was just like a joke. It was just like, it was I stay within 5Ks. I get tested every two. Like obviously what you're supposed to be doing, but I just made a joke out of it. And over TikTok, we got it's a good ratio. We got 50,000 views, 55,000 views, and we got like 1,600 likes on it, and a lot of really weird messages from females that I won't talk about on the podcast because they might be listening. Um, I'll just say one lady was like 45, and I get a message with "Hey, beautiful," and I was like, "You're old enough to be my mum, first of all. Second of all, thank you for calling me beautiful." Um, how's your lockdown been?
Been pretty good. Yeah, I've also gotten into TikTok a little bit.
Yes.
I uploaded one video. It was the El Carnitine one,
Hmm.
and that one, yeah, got 80,000 views. So it just,
Hey,
I guess, I don't know. It's just randomly
it
you
is
post a
random.
video, and just one of your random videos will just blow up a little bit.
It's
So
the weirdest thing about TikTok. Like I generally try so hard to make people laugh on TikTok. I make so many funny videos, effort into it. That video I dropped, I only posted on TikTok so I could post it on Instagram as a reel, and it blew up. And I was like, "What?"
no, you're doing very good. Keep at it. I mean, every time I see your posts, I start laughing every single day.
I
Your
I actually had a
TikToks,
few people message me recently about that. They reached out and they're like, I think I've laughed at all your posts, and Facebook's even worse. My Facebook status has been pretty wild lately. I, I'm pretty sure someone's reported my Facebook, one of my comments because it got deleted. Um,
oh well,
but yeah, a bit of Karens out there.
yeah. No, other than that, I've been working.
Yo,
So I don't know if I told you I've been doing a lead generation role.
oh, what?
It's
Sorry.
IT based.
Oh yeah,
IT based.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah,
it's lead generation.
yeah.
So like cold calling, sales, doing that. And on the spare time, editing videos. Like I said, my mom started a channel.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, so Kate's Kitchen Sydney. I see you
Yo,
following her as well. Yeah,
we'll get her on the podcast next.
we'll do. Sure will. I actually told her today. I was
Yeah,
like, "Yo, do you want to be in it a little bit? You can, talk a little bit about Kate's Kitchen." But she was like, "Oh, I don't know." She was like, "I'll let you do it first."
she's she's their next guest. With the IT company with the lead generation, what's that like? Just kind of like just a job to kind of get through.
Yeah, so been doing that on the side. I mean, so it's my full time job now, but
Yeah,
doing that based mostly for money. So making sales, IT sales, it's cold calling,
yeah,
completely different to what I was doing previously. So I was working in Telstra before I started Enigma.
yeah, yeah,
This I started. It's been about maybe 5 months now,
yeah, yeah.
and yeah, completely new experience selling. I never had any selling experience. Talking to IT managers, selling more about like the cloud infrastructure,
Mm,
trying to get businesses to move to the cloud. So learning a lot, pretty good experience, and then yeah, doing video editing on the side right now,
yeah.
running Enigma as well.
Yeah, the good thing
Enigma's going
about
pretty
the
good.
IT thing is actually it benefits you as a person. Obviously, it's a money maker, but it benefits you because they'll probably put you through training that can help your own brand.
Mm.
How is Enigma
Just,
going?
just got to order right now. Notification
Just
was
got an
pinged.
order. Can we shout them out? Does it come up with their name
Wait.
or is it
Yeah,
Privacy
it
Act?
did. No, I did. Wait, let me check. So we have Sean Yee in
Sean
Queensland.
Queensland. Sean
Yeah.
Yee, if you're listening, thank you for your order. Sean Yee, we'll give him a shout out.
Yeah, no, Enigma's going great. It's been running on its well. I made a YouTube video doing a little bit of an update. I don't know if you saw it, but I uploaded it 2 weeks ago where I talked a bit more about Enigma.
Hmm.
And yeah, it's been running well. It's on. I only got one ad running right now on Facebook and Instagram, and that's been enough to attract a lot of customers. And twice a week we're shipping out products,
Yep.
and my mum helps me in that as well. So I pack them because I'm working full time. I just pack them, and my mum goes and posts them out. And so far it's been good. I haven't been able to do much right now,
Yeah.
like in terms of content wise.
Yeah.
I mean, just been stuck at home, but so far going pretty well.
Yeah, 100%. And I feel like it's kind of a good time for any like because I classify your business like kind of as an e-commerce because you're kind of set up in that as well. I feel like it's a good time because everyone's like there's like a lot of the countries at home sitting doing nothing online shopping. So like if you have a Facebook ad, Facebook's very underrated in ad space. I think they're quite cheap to be honest for ads, and it's very underrated. What's some other marketing stuff you kind of put in place lately?
As of right now, it's just been Instagram and Facebook marketing.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's been cheap.
Mm.
It's only cost me like right now $5 a day,
Yeah.
and over time it accumulates. Like $5 a day is nothing. It's the same price as a bun and coffee or something.
Yeah.
You put that towards your business every day, it kind of adds up. So it's good so far. What I can look into is the Google SEO,
Yeah.
trying to rank up on the search engine and stuff. Because I've seen a couple sales that come through based just from Google
Mm.
and not from Facebook and Instagram. So I feel
Yeah.
like that's also a good way to get your business out there as well.
Crazy guy at Google is George Paps?
Yes.
That guy's a freak with Google. Honestly, you could probably talk to him for like 15 minutes and he'll scale your business to a $2 million business.
Yeah.
But he's really good and he sometimes he puts on his story the statistics from Google and he'll put like 100 or he'll put like 10 grand in to pull out like 300K and you just look at it and you're like the turnover ratio is insane. Um, but we're with Enigma. Tell us a bit about that brand and kind of how that came apart.
Yeah. So with Enigma, I actually started during last year's lockdown.
Yo,
I don't know. It was just staying at home. It kind of just gave me that drive. I was like, I want to do something I haven't done before. And I always wanted to sell a product.
Hmm.
And me being, into the fitness scene, bodybuilding scene, I just, wanted to go with that fitness route and sell a product. So I was thinking, what is something that I enjoy and something that I can kind of put my head down and be able to help others out with. So with me, deadlifting, I don't know if you've seen, I'm a pretty big
yeah,
deadlifter.
you
I
are.
enjoy deadlifting.
You got a pretty big lift too, to be honest. How much do you weigh roughly?
So around 74 kilos, I did 265.
Oof, that's what triple or triple and a half.
Yeah, I think 3.3 or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
who knows the math?
Yeah.
3.3.1. My bad. Start pulling out numbers.
3.145.
Some pie there. But yeah, that's pretty big lifting, eh? For like, what do you prefer that type of training, or it just kind of happens?
So yeah, I'm not like I don't consider myself as a powerlifter. I'm
Mm,
more into hypertrophy based.
yeah,
But something about just the compound exercises sometimes are just like smashing it out and seeing how much you can lift.
yeah,
And then with Enigma, with the belts, because I see a lot of people in the gym that don't own a belt.
yeah,
They squat, they deadlift, and I was like, how can I get people to start using belts? Because there's a lot of benefits to it. Like
mm,
injury prevention, it puts less stress on your spine, improved biomechanics, um, and then because there wasn't a lot of people that I see personally using belts, I wanted to create a product that is of quality, priced well, and aesthetics. Those
mm,
are the three main things.
yeah,
And everyone that's been my customer right now are people. So the target market is people that have never owned a belt.
mm,
So that's like the first kind of stepping stone into that, belt market, I guess you would
yeah,
say.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a very unique thing, and you kind of it's good because you've observed what people need before you start the business. Like, it's like it's a very smart approach to take it because you're kind of like I personally, me myself, I don't actually use a belt. I used to use a belt when I was younger, when I was probably like 13, 14. If you ask me why I used the belt, I got no clue. And then when I personally don't use the belt, I just feel like a bit of a manly man if I don't use the belt. But at the same time, I do know the benefits, and this is a big misconception on belts. In the sense of what it actually does. Do you know the story of how the belt was actually formed?
Ooh, no, I don't. Yeah,
Because Sebastian
please let me
Orr,
know.
the Australian strength coach, speaks a lot about this. So what they used to do in a lot of like training competitions with powerlifting, they used to like use a wooden stick, and obviously the belt pushes against your core, which technically engages it. Obviously, then supports the back. That's the whole kind of surrounding of the belt. And they used to hit people with their sticks during powerlifting competitions. There's actual videos of it too. It's pretty funny. They used to hit their core with a stick, or they used to put something on their thing. So someone had the idea of like, why don't we just create a belt that sits there? And that's literally how it formed from someone
Wow.
from them hitting each other's stomachs with sticks. Which don't ask why.
I will look into it. Thank you for that. Learn
Yeah,
something new every day. I never
yeah.
even thought about going through the history of belts when I'm actually selling belts myself.
Yeah, because if you ask most people why they have a belt, like you see like the guy at the gym doing bicep curls with a belt on, and you're like, what? And or you see any movement to be honest with a belt on, and you kind of ask them and go, why are you using it? And they go, oh, it helps my back. But a lot of people don't see the side where it engages your core, which is the underlying reason why it supports your back, which I think is the big misconception on the belts, and that's why, in my opinion, I feel like that's why people don't buy belts because they don't see it as the core engagement, they see it as the back support. But they say for Stephen Smith, who has a good back, thinks I don't need a belt because I got a good back, but they don't see the core engagement side.
Mm. Yeah, and I've seen because a lot of people that do buy a belt, they get the ones that have the back padding,
Yeah,
but around the front it has no support at all. So your
yes,
core, there's nothing. It's just wrapped around you, doing nothing for your core. So your body is not stabilized, effectively as it could be.
yeah, because yours are the lock things, aren't they? I don't know what
The
they call it.
lever, yeah,
Yeah, they're a lot better,
lever belt. Mm.
especially like for the value that you get because they're not some of those belts that you see online with the locks are like $800. That's blown out of
Yeah,
proportion, but they're expensive.
yeah. The pricing for belts are all over the place. But yeah, for me, it was making it affordable.
Yeah,
That's the target market I wanted to go with. So
100%. And that'll pay off in the long term in the sense of orders. And you can always creep the price up at the end of the day, like a dollar or two. But it's such a good market. Where'd the name come apart? Enigma.
Enigma, yeah. It's just like I was thinking of names. There were a couple names, and I wanted something unique. So the meaning of Enigma is something that's mysterious.
Mhm.
And physiques, being me into bodybuilding stuff, I was like, if I combine both, so it's building a physique that is mysterious or difficult to understand by the rest of the herd or the world, and that kind of stuck. I was just putting both together. It sounds good.
Yeah,
It captures people's
it
attention.
does.
Like, yeah, when you hear Enigma, you go, "Oh, what's
Oh,
that?" You can kind of get curious.
sounds like a dragon.
But
That's a
yeah,
yeah. I remember
they're just
first
different
asking you
names.
when it came out what was Enigma, and you're like, it's a mystery. I was like, that's even mysterious. Do you have a quote for the brand?
Yeah. So my quote or motto is, "It's time to unlock your true potential." So timing meaning I focus on time. I got that tattoo as well. Big believer in time
Yeah,
to not waste it and to use it wisely.
100%.
And potential wise, putting a belt around you, like you said, supporting your core, allows you to completely stabilize the entire body when you're doing a lift, a compound exercise, or anything. So, unlocking your true potential, I guess.
Well, yeah, exactly. And I think that's part of the benefit of the lockdown at the moment, how much time we have. And it's like ridiculous how much time we have.
I know we have a lot of time. Yeah, that's the good thing about lockdown because when you don't have a lockdown, I felt like I was busy the
Yeah.
entire time, but I actually wasn't getting much done.
Yes.
And then now that I'm at home, I actually realize, there's a lot more stuff that I could be doing with my time that could be helping me to progress, in my career. Uh, and then yeah, it's kind of just like a reset button, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. How
100%.
about you?
Yeah,
How's your life
good.
going?
Yeah, good. Not bad. I just being productive as I can and using time wisely. Um, I think that's the big thing. And what you just said there is people get so busy and caught up in life that you don't realize you're off track. And Ali said this on a couple episodes ago. He goes, to get on track, to stay on track, you have to every now and then come off track to then realize, all right, we need to get back on the train. And like, I think that's important because that's what it is now. Like, even though there's restrictions, but we're in a, like, Sydney's not that bad. Come on. Like, we're, we're restricted, but we're not restricted to the point where like I could still go outside for an hour and exercise. Like it's not like we're getting like, it's not that bad, to be honest, in my opinion. Could be
Yeah,
worse. That's the way I see it.
same here. I look at it the same way. Like at first, you're kind of pissed off, like you can't leave, stuck at home. But then you just kind of have to realize and be grateful for what you have. And
100%.
like you got your family, you got your friends here, your health, you got a roof over your head, you're making money,
Yeah.
and it's the main things. Back to the basics, I guess.
Yeah. Well,
So
at the end of the day, all you need to do is eat, sleep, drink water. That's the three things. And to be honest, I can't speak for everyone, but like a lot of people have that in Australia, and even like if you lose your job, like there's plenty of government support at the moment for money. So like financial stress, it's still there for some. I know as a business, it's a bit tough, but like at the end of the day, you've got to improvise, adapt, overcome to every situation that gets thrown at you. And this is one of those situations.
yeah, I've been following Dr. Cody's advice.
Dr. Cody. Please don't listen to Dr. Cody. He's done. He's off the wars. Yeah. Do you know how much people like sometimes reply to my stories? You know, someone actually, if you listen to this podcast, it was an anonymous account. It was like one of those fake accounts. They replied to my story. What was it? Why are you being so positive during this time? And I want to address this because I haven't spoken to anyone in the podcast yet about this. But I was like, what do you mean? Like, we're obviously in the middle of like a global pandemic, whatever you want to call it. But like, why isn't positivity the key?
I know. I totally agree with you. Just with social media, you have everyone having their own opinion, getting to debates
Mm,
and stuff. And I'm more just like, yo, just take a step back
right,
and just chill and then enjoy what you're doing right now.
exactly.
Uh, yeah.
And
And I
then
see it with you as well.
yeah, and that's what I've been trying to do. And I feel like the issue with at the moment is the reason people are angry is because they can't do what they would normally do, which I get. Um, but I don't know. I forgot who was on the show that made this point. Could have been RJ. But anyways, um, what people do in life is they identify themselves as their job. Like say for yourself, you might identify yourself as a let's say you only identify yourself as a bodybuilder. The gyms get taken away, or you got no equipment to train. Your then identity's lost, and that's what's going on. Like a lot of like right now with people like who were bakers, who were barbers, have only identified themselves as a barber, and I think that's important to note because like that's why a lot of people are feeling lost at the moment.
Yeah. So you're saying you should have a diverse, um, I don't know, I guess, skills or
Yeah, yeah, or even
careers?
just know that I feel like people need to realize that they're a person before anything. It's like you're Adrian, Adrian. But like, see, people see different sides of you. I see you as like Enigma owner and a bodybuilder. Someone might like your mum sees you as your son. So I think that's important for everyone to realize themselves. Like I'm Kody, like I have different demeanors, but at the end of the day, you got to realize who you are as a person.
Yeah, no, that's true.
What how's training been anyway with this lockdown?
Yeah. So like you said, if the gyms are taken away, like my bodybuilding side, I managed to get a power rack
Yo,
within the first week of lockdown. It's pretty good price as well. I think another guy bought one, and then he just didn't have space, so I bought it off him.
smart.
And then yeah, so I had some weights as well. I've been training, but to be honest, when it comes to training, the intensity is not there as it is normally in the gym. And I've only like now I'm averaging 3 days a week of weight training,
Mm,
which is enough. Push pull legs. I'm like I've shifted my focus from trying to build muscle and build a better physique to just take like chill down for a bit, spend a few months, just maintain. And I started a new hobby. So I've never been into bike riding.
mm,
So now having a chance to, because I was running a bit and I realized kind of got bored a bit.
yeah.
So I've got a bike, a mountain bike, and I now been doing some trail riding. And I feel like I've just unlocked a new hobby that I never would have if the gyms weren't to close down. Because
Yes.
at the gym, I would just be cycling or doing stairmaster, but now I have like a new form of cardio that I'm actually going to enjoy, and I can actually go outside and progress further in, like mountain biking.
It's very underrated bike riding. It's very hard.
Yeah, but it's fun. I feel like in the gym when you bike ride, you can always stop. So when it gets hard, you slow down, you
Yes,
stop,
yes,
and you go, I'm done for the day.
yes.
But when you leave your house, you can't. You have to ride all the way back home.
You know what's funny? I went for a run today. I'm doing a 28-day challenge thing, and it starts tomorrow. But I thought I'd start today because of YOLO. And I went for a run today, and I prefer running on the treadmill for that exact reason. You get to stop early. But I ran about like 1.5 kilometers away from my house, and then I was like, oh, like I got to be back in like 30 minutes. I was like, if I walk, I'm gonna be pushing it. It's like now I have to run.
What's the challenge about? I saw that.
Just honestly, I've been listening to a lot of David Goggins lately. Shout out to David Goggins. That guy's a hard motherfucker. Uh, yeah,
Yeah,
go.
with David Goggins.
Yeah.
I just finished his "Can't Hurt Me" book
Yes, it
today.
is a cracker book. Podcast, the audio one or the physical book?
No, physical book. Yeah,
If you, I reckon, buy the audio book. The audio book is another level because he's in and out of it. So pretty much what he does is this other guy reads a chapter to you, and then David Goggins comes in after the chapter, like explains some more stuff, and he just like blasts you. It's funny as, but like he pretty much explains the chapter in a simpler term, and it's him speaking, and it hits very different than the audiobook. But amazing book. What's your thoughts on it?
mate. I would like. First of all, I don't read that much, so it takes with a little grain of salt. But I would say it's one of the best books I've read. And just you think about it, with normally the books that I kind of read, it's more about like self development.
Mm,
But at the end of the day, they're more kind of like selling you motivation.
yeah.
And with the "Can't Hurt Me" book, it's a like an autobiography, so it's about his life. And you kind of is not at the end of the day, he's not telling you, hey, do this or do that to be more productive and train better. He's literally just telling you, hey, this is how I grew up, this is what I went through.
Yes.
And just by getting to know more about this one guy,
Yeah.
then you go, wow. And he just kind of puts it in a whole new perspective. Like, you could be pushing yourself a lot more than you actually think you can.
There's only two people in this world that I have post notifications on Instagram. One's David Goggins and one's Joko Williams. I think it's Joko Williams.
Oh, I'm not aware of him. You
Jo-
check him out.
Joko Williams is like a Navy SEAL. Similar story to Goggins. He actually he's the pretty sure he still does. He's the guy that pretty much runs the Afghanistan army when America goes over. But pretty much every day he posts his watch. He gets up at 4:30. He posts his watch straight in the morning. Like, do you follow David Goggins on Instagram?
Yeah.
How motivational is it when you're swiping through and you get his video and he's like running? He's like just ran 30 Ks in the morning just for fun. And he's like yelling at you and you're like, fuck, I need to go do something. Like, and that's what the book is. That's what the book literally, it speaks to you and pretty much goes like toughen the hell up.
Yeah. So what did you get out of from that book?
Look, I got that humans are a lot more powerful than we think, especially when you put your mind to something. Like, this guy ran. This guy's a crazy mother. Like, this guy is a special breed of alpha. Like, I'm not saying everyone can do this, but you can see that his struggles growing up and that stuff has made him the man. Like, he ran 8 ultra marathons in 8 weeks in a row. So normally someone does an ultra marathon, they recover for 2 to 3 weeks. This guy did 8 in 8 weeks. Like, that is beyond. And he did he owns. I'm pretty sure he owns the pull up challenge.
So he had the world record.
Yeah.
It's been beaten now, but he held it for a fair few years, I think. And like you said, the running part, he did it with like broken like ankles and stuff as well.
Achilles.
He just taped them up.
Yeah, broken Achilles. Even there's a video on him. I love this video. So he's got this left knees jacked. So he's got heaps of fluid build up. It's like a lump, like heaps big, like a golf ball. And pretty much he put a video. They're putting the needle in it, and they're getting the swelling out. And everyone's like, oh, he's done. He's not going to be running anymore. Literally the next morning, he filmed his wife's filming him running, and he's like running, and he's like, you motherfuckers thought I was gonna stop. I'm going an ultra marathon here on a Sunday. And I was like, what the fudge? Like, there is no, and that's the mental toughness that, as bad as I think a lot of people are losing these days.
I know. Yeah, nah, David, just a whole nother level,
Yes.
and it just yeah
Cooking.
makes you get up. Just that one thing that you read of him,
It does.
it's like
It
yo, I
does.
could be working a lot harder than I actually am right now.
That's the thing, and like that's there's only a select few people in the world that can like make someone like say I'm quite motivated. I'm quite self-driven. Like that guy still motivates me externally, which is yeah, like it's weird as. But um, back to conversation. We got a bit sidetracked with David. Shout
Yeah,
out to David
David
Goggins.
Goggins.
We were up to I think we're up to the bike riding, weren't we?
Yeah, so just using this time to kind of find other areas to work on. So with the gym, held a bit back now, holding back,
Hmm.
but bike riding and also learning a bit more now. Like now that I've gotten into the sales side of IT, selling cloud infrastructure. Now I want to learn more about the cloud
Yeah,
infrastructure because I'm talking to people that are up there in the IT scene
yeah,
and not knowing that they're getting sold by a guy that doesn't really know much, you know. Because selling, when it comes to selling, you don't need to know what actually you're selling. It just
yeah,
comes down to how you talk and
hundred
how you
percent.
explain everything. Mm. So now I'm looking more into the cloud infrastructure, just learning more about the IT side. And I was like, use this time to progress in everything. So in terms of Enigma, business, learn more, like physical fitness as well,
Yeah,
family time as well. Like now I've been spending a lot more time with my mom and sister with the Kate's Kitchen Sydney.
yeah,
We actually have a dedicated day. So normally Saturdays, today I kind of ahead with the videos. So today we didn't record,
yeah.
but now like every Saturday it's just a couple of hours with my mom. And it's more family time, I guess, now compared to normally. You're just busy. Everyone's busy doing their own thing, and yeah,
Your mum looks like she makes some nice food. I tell you that. um,
yeah,
it's crazy because like it's such a simple like such a simple thing recording yourself cooking, and like it's something that's just like it's just normal. Like you're cooking and you just got a camera there, but like it's crazy how much people. I sit down and watch sometimes cooking shows for no absolute reason. I just sit there and I'm like, why did I just watch a 30-minute cooking show? I'm not even gonna cook it.
yeah. No, there's something good about just seeing others cook, even eating. I
Yeah.
say like the food challenges that you do. You kind of enjoy someone else eating, and you
It
just want to
is.
see how they experience it. Yeah,
And I think people underestimate eating challenges though, because like I've done them for a while now. I've done. Look, I'm not one of the best. We actually have one of the top guys in on the podcast on Monday, James Webby. This guy's a friend. This guy is crazy. I did 50 Oreos in 12 minutes, which is hard. And a lot of people were like, "Oh, that's not that hard." You try go and eat 50 Oreos. I can tell you, after about 20 Oreos, your jaw's locked up. You just don't want to eat any more Oreos. This guy ate 136 in 12 minutes. Like
oh wow.
that
What's
is
he? Is he a professional eater?
he's aspiring professional eater, but I reckon he could. The top guy in Australia at the moment is Cow Hulk Smash Food. Shout out to Hulk Smash Food. But I reckon Joby is faster and he has a bigger stomach and jaw to take more high volume foods.
I so I haven't done any eating challenges, but I'm keen to do one with you. I
Yes,
reckon something with
collab.
Indian food.
Honestly, I would. I don't think I've done any Indian food like challenges like that.
Yeah,
Um, ooh, maybe collab coming. Collab in the
yeah.
books.
Do a little vlog. Go out somewhere to a restaurant once lockdown's finished.
There's a nice place. I don't. I think I've only reviewed one Indian restaurant. It's in Edmondson Park, Sengam.
Oh, that's
Uh,
new.
yeah, it only just opened up, so I don't know if they're still open, but it's actually really nice. I think I gave him a 10 on my thing, which is pretty cool. Shout out to Sengam Restaurant if you're watching. Probably not, but you know. But back to your mum's cooking. How do you rate your mum's cooking?
So I think for me, I'm kind of biased, right? Because I've grown up eating my mom's food,
Yeah,
and that's what I'm used to. But in saying like what I'm hearing from other people, my mom comes and tells me stories of when she goes out to work and stuff. Others telling her that her cooking's good and they enjoy watching her videos. They've been following her videos,
mm,
and kind of gives you any perspective like, hey, my mom's cooking is pretty good. It kind of makes me appreciate it more, knowing, listening to other stories of others not really knowing. Like there was one story of the fish curry that she cooked, and a lady told her that it every time she tries to cook it, the fish breaks in the curry. Like it always
Yeah,
splits in half,
yeah,
and then kind of makes you realize that hey, there's actually a lot of skills that go into cooking. Like I haven't tried
yeah. It
cooking
is.
myself; I can't cook at all, but it takes a lot of time to actually perfect a dish. And yeah, kind of just grateful now and appreciate my mom's cooking more.
Well, it is. It's like it's funny because like, well, I could look. I wouldn't say I can cook, but like I cook the basics like chicken, steak, and like meal preps, which technically isn't counted as cooking for all the bodybuilders out there.
Yeah, the same as me.
Like I'll cook a steak, and that's the thing. I think with the eating page, I've learned like a different taste bud kind of thing. Like I can pick out what foods are cooked right and what's not cooked right. Um, and because like I wouldn't say my parents are good cooks. I think they just cook the basics. To be honest, hopefully they're not watching. Um, but you can see, and I feel like it comes with passion. You have to be like enjoy cooking to make food taste good. And your mum looks like she enjoys it, which is probably a
Yeah,
good thing.
she really does. Yeah, and considering it's lockdown as well, she's got something to look ahead to and kind of keeps it busy as well because
Yeah,
we do have a lot of time now.
yeah, 100%. Is it what food she mainly cook? Indian based dishes or everything?
Yeah, she has been doing Indian based now, but considering she is doing YouTube, she's doing 2 videos a week.
Mm,
So you will reach a point where you're kind of exhausted the Indian selection, I guess. So then
yeah,
she'll kind of move on to, other foods, and it's a good opportunity for her to actually learn things that she hasn't made before.
yeah,
Just like with anything, um, like now she's looking into more ingredients, how to perfect her dishes even better, and yeah, just by starting YouTube, it's made her love her, I guess, hobby of cooking even more.
yeah, 100%. What's her go to spice?
Or would be I think it would be garam masala, turmeric,
Or that's
and
paprika? Do you have paprika?
yeah,
Paprika.
she does.
I love
Yeah.
paprika. That's actually fun fact. I probably shouldn't say this.
Oh yeah.
Paprika is one of the spices in KFC spicy mix. Their original recipe. Just saying. I read it on the packet when I worked there. Please don't arrest me.
Do you actually know the 11 secret spices?
Look, you don't, but when you so in the packet when you I worked at KFC for a couple of years. On the packet it says for some reason it only says warning paprika, and I think maybe because people are allergic, maybe. But paprika is a spice, so it means one of the spices is paprika. So that's the only spice I know. I don't know any of the other ones.
Yeah.
Probably some battery acid in there. Nah, joking. But yeah, but I'm sure you can find it online. Surely it's been leaked by now.
Yeah, and there's so many other like fried chicken recipes. I think like majority, even like 80% of it is known. There might be
Yeah.
20% where it's a bit of a hit or miss. You kind of have to make a guess.
Who's your favorite fried chicken place?
Oh, like the thing is, right? Like I love KFC. I don't know if you've seen my videos last year
Yeah, yeah,
or at the start of this year. I made the KFC
yeah,
videos.
yeah.
Yeah, I love KFC, but there's also the Korean ones that I like as
Mm.
well. It's a different taste.
Have you had Red Rooster's new fried chicken?
No,
Oh, you're missing out. I tell you this. Shout out to
I
Red
mean,
Rooster, the supporters of the podcast. A little bit of a plug there, but I don't know how we got into this topic. But no, Red Rooster fried chicken very underrated. I'm not even saying that because they support the podcast. I'm saying that that's not a plug. I'm saying that because generally, like, I like KFC. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy KFC, but I hate that feeling after, like greasiness, sickness. Like I feel like you can't eat like fried chicken and then enjoy the rest of your day. You feel off. To me, I feel off. And like Red Rooster, I could go have like 5 pieces of fried chicken and go for a run after. That's how, like, I don't know. I don't know what it is, the difference. I know how KFC's chicken's made, so I know how much oil goes into it. But what's your thoughts on that?
so the Red Rooster one, is it fried or is it put in the oven like with the rest of the chicken?
Um, I I need to get behind the scenes first.
Yeah.
I would say it's fried because it's perfectly. The thing is, it's very crunchy. It's similar to Broster's chicken. Have you had Broster?
No, I've seen it, but yeah, it's on the
Very
list.
similar. It's actual. I feel like it's proper fried chicken where it's crunchy. Like KFC, because it's such a big corporate, it's a hit or miss. Like it's either really good or really bad. And I think it's just different. But that's why I think KFC people like it because it's fried chicken, but it's not that crunchy fried chicken. It's like the skin kind of melts, if that makes sense.
Okay. Is it boneless or
No, no, it's normal. normal
Oh,
bones.
yeah. Looking.
Fried chicken is like not fried. Red Rooster's completely changed their menu. And I don't like when people give hate to Red Rooster because I feel like they've. I feel like the issue with Red Rooster at the moment is there's like a stigma behind Red Rooster being terrible, that people think it's terrible. But like you ask someone, like have you had? When was the last time you had Red Rooster?
Oh, to be honest, Cody, I don't think I've had register this entire year. The only time I go is when I feel like roast chicken.
Yeah, and I feel like that's what they're known for, roast chickens. But they've got like, if you look at the menu, they've literally got everything. They've got wings, they've got burgers now, which is they've literally got like it's like a KFC Zinger box ripoff. But they've got everything now, and I think I always tell people with Red Rooster because I'll go, oh, what's your thoughts on Red Rooster? And they go, oh, it's shit, terrible. When was the last time you had it? Oh, I never had it. What? How do you know it's bad? That's
Yeah.
my thoughts. Bit of a rant.
Now, actually, we're talking about Red Rooster. I think I'm gonna head out to Red Rooster pretty soon.
If you do have Red Rooster, tag us in the tag Red Rooster in the podcast and put it in your
Yeah,
story. They can
I'll tag you as well. Dr. Coda's advice.
we talk to Red Rooster quite regularly. That's the thing with the eating page. Like, well, you know this. We're similar with the fitness. How much connections you make from like social media. Like, say for instance, your mum's cooking show. You'll start to learn. She'll connect with other chefs and she'll connect with other foodies.
Yeah, that is true.
Connections is important. How about with the brand Enigma? Because you've obviously got some other items on there now besides belts, which is awesome to see. What's your plans for the big future of that?
So with Enigma, the main thing was the main product to be belts. I wanted to kind of just stick with one thing and do that well. Um, I did have a lot of people, ask me questions. Hey, you're gonna go into apparel or other things? But I just wanted to stick with. I was like, starting off, just belts, and then I had a little bit of other accessories. So I got lifting straps, wrist wraps, I got hip bands as well.
Yep.
But primarily, everyone that buys Enigma is for belts. And yeah, so I think for me, it's to stick with one thing and just go at it with that. Be known for creating very good belts. So right now, I'm waiting until I kind of lockdown goes away and I clear out most of my stock.
Hmm.
Once that's done, I want to kind of release version two, I guess. So
Yeah.
I'll put
Yeah.
my head down again and think of a much better design, maybe different versions, because right now I only have the 10 millimeter belts.
Yep.
So I can get the 13 millimeter belts as well. And right now I have the suede finish on the front. So it's kind of like that soft, comfortable 10 millimeter belt. And when it comes to females, a lot of the questions I get asked is, does it hurt? Because when it comes to belts, they've used belts that kind of leaves a mark on their stomach and it kind of digs into the bones a bit.
Yeah.
And with my belts, 10 millimeter belts, and with the suede finish, it's very comfortable, doesn't leave any marks. But then I might also go with that 13 millimeter belt with a leather finish. Would be a bit more harder around your waist, but will be suited towards the more power lifters
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So kind of have like more for general lifters, more for advanced lifters, and go from there onwards.
Yeah. 100%. I feel like that's what when they do new drops, it's like important and it's smart approach to focus on that one product, because like it kind of that's what people know you as, like the brand that has the belts, and then anything else um, like say for a good example is like probably George's company, Georgia Main, with their hair mask. He literally the business is built on that hair mask, and then when you're shopping and when you also in your I don't know if you've ever bought, I've bought like 4 hair masks for my partner and they give
I
away,
bought it
not for
for
me.
mum.
And like you probably still get their emails right from Lauren, and they message you, hey boo, but like and actually sometimes I get a message, I'm like, should I buy another one? I'm like, what am I doing? I don't need a hair mask. But it's that foundation of that one product that now he sells. I don't know, I actually don't know what the other products are. Um, but he sells everything else, and like you're rebuying your hair mask every month, and then all of a sudden there's a spray that fixes, I don't know, your ears, whatever, and then you buy that as well. And I think that's awesome with your belt idea, because then you might buy a belt and then you're like, you know what, my wrists are hurting, I might get some wrist straps, and then bang, you've got another sale on top of that.
Mm, nah, that's it. So yeah, so you have your main product, your primary product, and then secondary products
Yeah.
that go with the primary product. So I can, yeah. So lifting straps, there's a lot of different types of lifting straps, like the figure eights. I can get into gloves, just other accessories, lifting accessories that would be minor, but the main product would always be the belts.
Yeah, of course. And
For
the good thing is there's so many colors out there, and there's patterns, and I think that's probably the biggest thing is that you can always change colors and experiment. Because at the moment, which colors do you have available at the moment?
So I've got 5 colors right now: black, light blue, purple, red, and cream colored.
Mm,
And with belts, when you walk into a gym, you just see everyone wearing black.
yeah,
So that was a big thing on my side. When it comes to aesthetics, I wanted a belt that catches your eye.
yeah,
And when you see someone wearing a purple belt or
yes,
red or blue, your eyes just kind of fixate towards that. And you see that Enigma logo on the back, kind of get curious as to what it is.
yeah. That's a big thing because when you walk into the gym that you obviously train at, like they're everywhere for some. They're everywhere. They need the belts. But you walk in and then like that's the thing. You literally like I always see is it pink or red? Has
The
like a
purple,
pink,
purple one,
purple. Sorry,
yeah,
purple.
light
I
purple.
always see that purple one everywhere for some reason, like males and females. Like it just stands out. It's like everyone wants purple, and it's different because I don't think I know any other brands that do anything besides black and leather.
Yeah, I know. Because when it comes to, like, that's the thing in Australia, there's not many competitors for weightlifting belts.
Mm,
Like, you do have your major brands like SBD and all that, but when it comes to prices, they're all over $300. Yeah,
yeah,
they've got the technology to make the best belt, but not every, like, my target market is the general lifter. If
mm,
you're a power lifter that's competing in professional competitions, you would go for that SBD belt. That's what I would recommend you to go. But for every general lifter, not like, if you're just going to the gym just to build a good physique and be healthy, you're not going to spend $300-400 on a weightlifting belt.
100%.
So yeah, with my range right now, it's $80
Yo, eighty
just to get you
dollars.
in there. Yeah.
Good price actually. I need to get one. I haven't actually got a belt. I just borrow everyone else's. I'm gonna go buy a belt today for my lockdown push-ups. Yeah, no, that's actually really good. That's actually really good value. And I think it like having it there is like people probably wonder why. Like I guess it's in the name. It's a mysterious why the belt is at value. Like if I see an $80 belt, it's like why. And it's good to see like that you're targeting that general population because I feel like sometimes it gets like wiped out with a lot of the stuff, and that's what the big apparel companies do. Big apparel companies in Australia or worldwide don't like Nike. Nike don't target like yes they target athletes for promotion, but a lot of their audience when you walk around the shops, who do you see wearing Nike Adidas? Probably the most unfittest people there. Like it's it's sad, but it's the truth. It's what they that's the target market they because it's a whole
Yeah, you're right.
makes you
When it
feel
comes
like
to
an
Nike
athlete.
stuff, you do. Yeah, they do have a products, I guess, for everyone though,
Yeah.
and different sports as well. They
Yes.
target everything. Yeah,
Nike.
GymShark has been doing that as well.
Yeah. Shout out to GymShark. How's GymShark going for you?
I know. Hey, did the application. I mean, didn't see any response yet, but still got that in the back of my mind, man. I still got that end goal of
Yeah,
one day
100%.
achieving it.
You want to know a fun fact about Gymshark? So,
Yeah,
fun fact, very fun fact. So, you obviously know Ben Francis.
yeah.
So, Ben Francis and me connected when I was 15. All right, listen to this. This is a crazy story. So, I'm 20 at the moment. So, 5 years ago, I had a fitness account like you do in school. I was one of the fit kids that asked for advice and that. And it was pretty much called Kody Fit and Talks. I did fitness and I did motivational talk. And one day I was um, just like, I was trying to get sponsored. And as you do, you just message every single brand, message Gymshark. And then I was like, I had this idea. I was like, why don't, instead of messaging the brand, why don't I message the owner? So I found Ben Francis. At this time, nobody knew who he was. He probably had like 800 followers, which isn't a lot for him. I think he's up to like the 100Ks part now, past that. And I messaged him and I said, hey man, I heard you. I saw that you run Gymshark. Like, I just asked for a sponsor from Ben Francis. And Gymshark was big 5 years ago. Like it was
Yeah.
huge. And I messaged him and we talked. Then he followed me back. I was like, oh, this is like pretty cool. So me and actual Ben Francis followed each other for like a while. I don't actually have that account anymore. I deleted it. I went through like a 2 year little social media break. And I remember that day. And then now lately, he's been doing a lot more speaking and he's become his own personal brand now, Ben Francis. And it's crazy because like I was talking to this guy 2 years ago about trying to get. He obviously said no to the Gymshark sponsorship, I was a little 100 follower account. I had no value given to him. But we talked, and actually, it's funny because back then, before I even knew what podcasting was, I asked him if I could interview him just on my channel. And we were supposed to organize it, and but obviously being a busy man, we could never find time to fit it in. Um, and yeah, and I connected with him. It was the weirdest experience in my life. And now I look back, and whenever I see his posts, like I was talking to this guy when I was 15. So yeah, that's my Gymshark story.
Wow. Nah, that's
Yeah,
a good story, man. Out of everyone I know.
is that
But
and
yeah.
it trips me out. And like the worst part is I got no evidence that I talked to him. Like you got to take my word here. Like I can't. I got no evidence. I deleted the account, and I was like, oh, I need to get that email back. And
Yeah.
um,
No, I believe you,
yeah,
man. I
we've
actually,
yeah, you go.
no, go ahead.
No, you go. You go.
I met Brent Francis. I mean, didn't meet him, but I walked into the bathroom and it was just him, no one else. And I see him like, whoa, this guy's the CEO of Gymshark. And I was like, Adrian,
Whoa.
play it cool. Don't say anything in the bathroom. And I was yeah, just did my business and we washed our hands and walked out. I was like, nah, I'm not starting a conversation in the bathroom.
Yeah, I feel like yeah, but yeah, that's where was that at? Like an expo?
The Sydney
Yeah,
Gymshark event.
yeah.
That's where I met the sponsorship manager.
What made you choose Gymshark out of everything?
So, bro, when it comes to me, when I was 17, I used to like this is before I even had a gym membership. I was like, when I finish HSC, I want to get into the gym, train. And the first person I looked up to was Mark Fit. I don't know
Mm,
if you know him.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and he was a Gymshark athlete back that time. And at that time, this was 2013, 2014. Gymshark was, you know, they didn't have many sponsorships. Like the world, you only knew them if you were purely into YouTube and that fitness scene.
yeah, yeah, hundred
Like
percent.
no average person knew what Gymshark was at the time. And just watching Mark Fit and the type of person he was, I'm just sitting there like, you know what? What if I could be a Gymshark athlete one day? And then I got into the gym, started training, and then my biggest inspirations, Mark Fit, Ziz, and all that.
Mm.
It's
Is
kind of
it?
continued, and then now I'm still got that in the back of my head. I feel like, I mean, now it's a lot harder to become a Gymshark athlete, but
Yeah,
having that goal, seeing that goal that seems impossible, it pushes you a lot more. Like with David Goggins, right? I was talking about him. If he set his goals low, like there's things that he's accomplished, you will look at originally and be like, man, that's impossible. There's no way this guy's going to get it. But
yeah,
the amount of years that it's taken him and the amount of failures that David Goggins has had, every time he's failed, it's given him that drive to continue and to try new things and to push himself even more. And I think that's the good thing about me, where I was a 17-year-old kid and just goes, hey, want to be a Gymshark athlete. Whether I get there or not one day, but just
yeah,
having that end goal that's so up ahead is
yeah.
driving me right now. So like without that, who knows? I would never would have started Enigma. I
Mm.
wouldn't be, into bodybuilding or anything. And now I think it's that one goal has put me into this path of just long term growth and progression and trying to just keep progressing in life.
Well, that's the thing, and then that's the craziest thing about life because you say, for instance, like first of all, you were in the toilet with the owner, so you could have technically asked him then. First of all, second of all, it's smart because at the end of the day, these brands, as you said, these brands are run behind people that are normal, but they do extraordinary things. Like Mark Fit, obviously, I don't even remember who's sponsored by Gymshark these days. There's actually quite a bit, and I think having that impossible goal is, and it is possible. To be honest, it is possible. I reckon you could do it in 2 3 years, and because you're with EHP now, correct? All Star.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Yeah, like having this like this very high goal, it's pushing me now with Enigma and everything else that I'm doing, and it's pushed me to go with the HP because like everyone that's up there in the fitness scene, they have like a apparel company that they're sponsored with, and they also have like a supplement company.
Yeah,
And then I was like, all right, what's the supplement company that I would like to be associated with? And EHP being Australian, and it's the headquarters. I mean, it's in Sydney basically.
yeah, yeah,
Uh, and then yeah, just with the supplements that they have, the oxytrade and everything, I applied for the what's it called, the All Star program. So it's kind of like you're affiliated with them, but you're not a proper sponsored athlete
yeah,
because
yeah, yeah,
I don't have a big following yet or anything
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. So I'm kind of like a worker for them. So there's a
Yeah,
taste testing events. If I go to a taste testing event, I basically earn my supplements now. There's
yeah,
certain tasks and stuff. So the reels and posts that I make about EHP, it kind of gives me points, and you use that points towards supplements. So
yeah, yeah.
in a way, it's kind of paying off supplements, I guess.
Hundred
So
percent, which is a big expense, and that's something. It's a stepping stone because look, you could go from say EHP to then like a company like who's a big company? So who's a big supplement company in the world right now?
I would say EHP is dominating
Yeah, I
it.
was gonna say EHP
Yeah.
quite big, and like that's the thing. And if you now say you've obviously applied for the GymShark program, and if you reapply in a year when you're sponsored by EHP, they go, look, this guy's actually made like he hasn't given up. And I think the GymShark's whole demeanor now, especially it's changed a lot over the last couple of years, is those people that just keep trying. It's not about who you are. It's not about your following. It's not about what you do. It's just about keep trying. That's just really what GymShark's turned into lately. And I think it's good because the way you can get to GymShark is just keep trying to apply. Like, for instance, for example,
Like
yeah,
right now in Australia, like you got Zach Perner,
yes,
and I feel like when it comes to Gymshark athletes now, they're kind of changing their ranges. Like they're going to a broad range. They're giving out sponsorships to people who aren't even into fitness. They're into like business, like productivity and all that.
let's get him on the
Even
podcast. Sponsor of the podcast, GymShark. I'm gonna reach out.
yeah,
I'm gonna email him right after this now. Thanks for that, Adrian.
yeah, man. Like yeah, be like hit up Brent Francis again and be like, yo, I started a podcast.
Remember me, bro? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Keep going. Yeah, keep going.
yeah. Like I said, when they look at people, I think it's more about at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many followers you have or how good looking you are or anything like that. They care more about of you as an individual, what you do, what value you provide, um, and yeah, like your work ethic. Do you have that drive of continually progressing and growing as an individual? And yeah, I think it's just a lot more compared to other, apparel companies in the fitness industry. Most of them are just like, hey, who looks the best? You just
Yeah,
get a sponsorship with them.
yeah,
It's not
exactly.
about do they have the personality or do they actually provide any value to the
Yeah,
world, I guess.
yeah, 100%. And Gymshark's actually like a very big brand. And to be honest, I've never actually bought any Gymshark gear. Um, I've actually bought. I bought after I messaged Ben Fresh. I was like, I need some Gymshark gear to show that I'm interested, and then I ended up going on Wish.com. Shout out to Wish, and bought Gymshark clothes. And I tell you what, it was cracker quality. That Wish Gymshark
Mm.
shirt, but their quality is insane. And yeah, they've took a turn over the last year or two into like sponsoring like different people and getting. I feel like they're separating themselves from the fitness industry to more of the like Nike. Nike is fitness, Nike is sport, Nike is also a lot of stuff. And I think that's the target they're going to take, which is smart. It's expanding your horizons.
I've got a question for you, Cody.
Yes.
Seeing as I've told you, what my end goal, not end goal, like a goal that I've set
Yes.
that looks impossible,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you work towards it. What is something that you have? Is there anything similar that you have that you've set yourself a long term goal that you think is just crazy out there, but you kind of work
Well,
towards it?
I've said this from the start. I've said this from I started posting about this podcast. I said we'll be top 5 in the world by 2029. I put a bit of a margin there, but I believe I'm as this podcast. If I aim to be the like so pretty much with Spotify, shout out to Spotify, you become the top 200 first in your country. To then get top 200, you then become your top 10, and then you obviously then you're top in your country. Once you're in the top 50, you start getting recognized overseas, which then puts you into the Spotify World Top 200. Which a goal for me personally at the moment is to hit first the top 200 in Australia, because then what that allows is people see your stuff on Spotify, so you're not only marketing from other things. So but my whole plan, top 5 in the world, 100% with this podcast. And that drives me because, look, I might be like at the moment, Joe Rogan's sitting on the top in like a million countries. Shout out to Joe Rogan. And like that inspires me because I'm like, that guy's, I think he's 1,700 episodes in or something now. Um, yeah, it's a lot. And he's been going since 2009, which a lot of people don't actually know. But he only popped off in 2000 and probably like 14, 15. And that guy, I have mad respect for him, and that's probably my goal: top 5 in the world for this podcast. To be honest, aim high and shoot for the stars, and you miss and hit the clouds.
Nah, I like it, Cody. Keep working
Yes,
towards it, and then you've set yourself a lot of time as well. You got eight
yeah,
years, and
yeah,
yeah, I mean you're already smashing. You're off to a very good start,
yeah.
and
That's the thing. I feel like you can't put like I try not to put timeline on my goals, but like to me, like everyone goes, "Oh, 8 years, that's like heaps of time. Like, why don't you set a goal for 2, 3 years?" But at the same time, like in 8 years, I'm personally how old am I in 8 years? 28. I'm 28 in 8 years, which is still so young. And like to have a top 5 podcast in the world under 30 is still like an amazing thing. And that's the thing. And if I focus on so much, if I know to be the top 5 in the world, Joe Rogan's on 10 years, he's got 1,700 episodes. It means, and that guy posts every day. That guy's been doing every day episodes, and he obviously has a team behind him. Um, but yeah, that's what I strive for. Top 5 in the world. Tap, tap, tap. You heard it here first.
that's good. It's pretty good. But do you think you'd benefit from breaking down the 8 year goal into smaller goals?
Yeah, well, yeah, no, 100%. That's something that I've kind of broken down. Top 200 is the first goal. That's the first goal. Look, it's not. I wouldn't say it's hard to. I wouldn't say it's easy to get to, but it's not hard. That's the thing. Top 200. You got to remember, there's a lot of podcasts on Spotify. There's like thousands that start but don't go anywhere. They start, no one listens to it. But like, that's why I pump out content, and that's what drives me. It drives me to pump out content. It drives me to um, like I'm not afraid to message people. I went last week, for instance. I was messaging people, hey, check out my podcast, give it a follow, turn on post notifications. That type of stuff is like what a lot of hosts wouldn't do because it's like I don't want to message people to follow my podcast. A lot of loser, but I don't really care to be honest. Um, and also like the
Exactly.
fact is that like the more followers the podcast has, the more post notifications, the more people are listening. To get in the top 200, people need to be listening. And one of the big things I do is having guests like yourself and that stuff on as well, because guests bring people, and the more people, so it's like I talked earlier about timing the episode. Say for instance, say yourself, I'll put you probably mid next week. On Thursday, I'll put a guest that maybe has a bit more of a following, a bit more of a fan base, like an artist. Which then what that does, it you listen to say if you're listening to this podcast, you've probably listened to tomorrow, so you've listened to one, so you're backtracking. So say today we've got today's episode was Eliza. Eliza is quite well known. She was on. She's a lot of fans overseas for her music. So they'll go listen back to Ty's and they'll listen to Shanice's and then they'll listen back.
Yeah.
So you're pretty much intriguing people in, and that's why I like having different diverse guests because similar to Joe, I've took a Joe Rogan approach to this where it's like I want a casual conversation. I don't want not so much I don't want anybody's. I want someone that has like a story and a brand behind it, whatever. But I want diversity of like you're into fitness, you're into business. Tomorrow's episode is with Chef Sue. Chef, he's a chef. He's into food. He's only like 15, 16, and he's a young chef. And
Oh,
I
wow.
think that's the approach I've taken. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's have heard it
it's
here
pretty good.
first. Just told everyone my
Just
marketing
want
thing.
just want to confirm, does this last for an hour or does it go over an hour?
We've got about, actually, I was about to say that. We've got about 5 minutes. So what
Yeah.
we're going to do, we're going to get into our final part. It's pretty much just a little bit of games, I would say. Pretty much some questions. The first one is our GOAT show. So pretty much your GOAT, greatest of all time, dead, past, alive, can be anyone. Who's your GOAT?
Oh, greatest of all time. I'd have to say Ziz.
Ziz. I
Ziz.
thought so. Why is that?
Oh, just the impact that he's had. I started training when I was 18, and just knowing his story. So he came like he was in high school. He was one of the smartest kids.
Hmm,
Okay, he was a nerd. His ATAR was really high. He's a computer nerd. Me coming from a computer type background, I was a gamer as well.
yours is.
And and then just the way he got into fitness and the physique that he was able to build, that kind of inspired me. Like, yo, I want to build a better physique. And at that time, when 10 years ago, it was kind of more like if you're shredded, you're already like there's a misconception like you must be like as this would say like a HK,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then he was that one guy that stood out and told everyone, hey, like be nice to everyone. He was a very nice guy, and he
Yeah,
was, if you think about it, he was the first influencer, fitness influencer.
100%. He was. He
The
paved the
whole
way.
entire fitness industry has been created after looking at him. And the way that he just helped everyone. And like right now, we still, I don't know if you've seen TikTok, but there's a lot. Wait, did I just cut out?
No, you're good.
But
Keep going, keep
oh,
going, keep going.
okay.
Just keep
And
rolling,
then
keep rolling.
yeah, and then he's just like there's Ziz right now. There's a lot of messages. His inspirational talk that he did. We're
Yeah,
all gonna make it. Just simple stuff like that. And it was just one guy in his that was 20 years
100%.
old, and
Yeah,
he's
it's crazy to think like, because obviously he's passed now, rest in peace. It's crazy to think what would have happened if he stayed alive and was living to this day. Like the legacy that he would have now would have been like insane.
yeah, he would be the king of the fitness industry right now.
100%. Yeah, shout out to
What about
Ziz.
you?
My goat. What is this? No. My goat. I got heaps of goats. I'll do goat of the week. That's why. Um,
Yeah,
the thing with Ziz is it sounds sad, but him dying, like him passing away, was probably such a big influence on people. I think because he's passing, well, it shocked many. First of all,
mm,
it was a big thing. I remember like people crying on the streets because Ziz died, and like I think I'm not saying I feel like everything happens for a reason, and Ziz dying probably sparked a lot of influences up, um, because his legacy, him passing, brought exposure to him as well, um, which I think it probably helped a lot of influencers build their names and come out of the shadows.
yeah, and just to enjoy life while you're here.
100%.
Yeah, do not take things too seriously. When it comes to family, friends, work, having a balance with life,
Yes.
not always just being caught up with working and you know, like you said, you've been doing a lot about mental health as well
Mm,
during lockdown, just to enjoy life and be grateful for what we have. And
100%.
yeah, like and try new experiences. Like right now, it's my first podcast ever
Yo.
doing with you, so I'm grateful. Thank you so much for having me, Cody. Yeah, as a
Yeah.
guest.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
The last question I want to ask you, um, it's sorry.
Yeah.
Last question I want to ask you is pretty much what's some advice you would give to someone just starting the gym?
Starting a gym, it would be so when I started a gym, I didn't know what a split was. I just walked into gym. I would do like a set of leg press, and then I'll go do lateral raises, and then lat pull downs. I would just walk around doing whatever I felt like.
Yeah,
And I feel like when you do that, like when you're starting off, it's the best time to make gains, newbie gains, right? So do some research, get a split. When it comes to nutrition, take it seriously. Don't just go eat, junk food all the time. Actually care about your protein intake and enjoy it while you're at it. Like that's the first 6 months is the most gains you'll make as a newbie lifter. So kind of do your research and be more knowledgeable about how you're training and your sleep, diet, nutrition, everything plays a
100%.
big factor. Yeah.
Get the knowledge or get educated. That's the easiest way to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, big thanks for you coming on, man. I know it's your first podcast, and it was awesome to hear. I think there's a lot of value in this podcast that people will listen to, and take a lot out.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Cody. And yeah, looking forward to doing another one with you in a couple years' time.
Yes, when you're a GymShark athlete. Thank you for watching the Tap podcast. Remember to follow, like, and subscribe, and pass these podcast episodes on to all your friends, family, and even your animals if you're interested. Remember, good morning, good evening, and good night.